babies! Hello my book besties! Welcome back to my channel and welcome to another TBR video. Yay! It's finally April and it is time to pick a new TBR. You guys already know that most of the time I don't end up finishing my TBR and I also don't end up sticking to the TBR in full. However, I just enjoy doing these videos just for the fun of it and I always come up with a different idea when it comes to picking out the TBR. However, this one is inspired by 𝚟𝚑, who is also another booktuber that I watch often, so I got this idea from her, and as you've seen by the title, obviously we're going to be using eggs. So Easter eggs are going to be picking my TBR today, which is super exciting, it's super fun, and I am so ready to get into it. Here are all of the eggs. So basically the eggs are going to be spring related prompts, but also some of them are not. I decided to go with some spring related and some not. There's a mix of both in here and I'm excited to see what Easter eggs I get. I'm gonna try to aim for at least 6 to 7 eggs, but we're gonna see. However, I do want to let you guys know what my book club book is this month. I already know a couple of months ago well, actually you don't know because I didn't post a wrap up for February or March, but I finished Once Upon a Broken Heart. So now it is time for the Ballad Never After. So this is going to be the second book in the series and I'm super excited to read it. There is of course one more book left, but I am almost done with the trilogy, which is also really cool. I really enjoyed the first book. It was so good. However, it wasn't 5-star material, but people say that the second book is better than the first. So I am looking forward to that part of the series and hopefully this gets a little bit better as we go on, because this is more of a slow burn kind of romantasy, because in the first book we get more of the banter and the storyline getting together, and I'm sure in the second book we're going to get a little bit more of the adventures and the romance blooming a little bit more. However, I don't want to say too much about this book because it would probably spoil the first book for you. I'm just gonna say a little bit of what the blurb says. After Jax, the Prince of Heart, betrays her, Evangeline Fox swears she'll never trust him again. Now that she's discovered her own magic, Evangeline believes she can use it to restore the chance at the happily ever after that Jack stole away. But when a terrifying new curse is revealed, Evangeline finds herself entering into a tenuous partnership with the Prince of Hearts again. Dun, dun, dun. Exciting, isn't it? I know. So I'm super excited to finish the series. Well, not finish the series, but continue the series. I took a little break from the series after I read the first book because I moved on into a new series, which I will talk about a little bit more, I think, in the next video, because that'll be my wrap up for February and March. But yeah, you'll hear a whole thing about that. Also, a vlog is coming out about the series that I started, so you'll also hear about that in another video. So like, y'all just gonna get all the deets about why I stopped reading this series for a little bit, but stay tuned. Anyways, yeah, let's go ahead and start choosing our TBR. All right, let's get the first one. Let's see what this says. The first A. Wow. A book with a map. Okay. So we got a book with a map. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I want to continue a series that you guys don't know I started, but I'm going to continue the Fourth Wing series. I don't currently have the paperback of the one I want to read, but I am going to be reading Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. Y'all, oh my gosh. Just to know, this series already is eating my whole heart up. Just know it's so good. I am obsessed right now, and I don't know how currently I am between two series that are really engulfing my whole heart right now. Like, I don't know how I'm doing it, but I am. So I'm currently reading the Ballad Never After series, and then I'm also reading the 𝚑𝚘 series. I don't know. I don't know, but this book, 10 toes down, I am in this book. Do you hear me? If you don't hear me, you need to hear me again. 10 toes down, I am in this book. Oh, okay, I think you heard me that time. Anyways, yeah, this book, the series, the first book, first of all, amazing. And already I am loving the second book. I started it today actually, and I already got to chapter 7. That should already tell you something. Something's wrong with me, okay, y'all? And I didn't even start this video yet. Like, and that's crazy that the first prompt was bad. And this book has a map in it, of course, because we are continuing the series and I am super excited. Like I said, I'm reading this on Kindle currently because I don't have it in paperback. They don't have the paperback version I want, and that is okay. but just know when I get the paperback, you'll know. So yeah, super excited, and I am already in love with the series. Like I said, this is just a continuation, and it just goes from here, guys. Okay, it's still slow burn, it's still very much romantic, very much a lot of angst, a lot of storyline, a lot of adventure. Loving it already. And just 7 chapters in, y'all, crazy stuff happening already. Every chapter is like a whole new book for me. I don't know why, but it feels like that. I really love this series. If you haven't started the Imperium series, you need to get on it right now, because the train is not a lie, guys. 1 egg down. How many books did I say I was gonna pick? 7? 6 books to go. Oh my gosh, why was that so hard to open? A literary fiction. I'll be right back. Okay, your girl is back, and I have a few options for literary fiction. I do have these 3. Okay, so we got first the Odyssey. Y'all already know I've been putting this on my TBR for too darn long, and it needs to get off my TBR low key. As y'all know, this is a classic by Homer, and it was translated by Emily Wilson, and it's a good classic that many have talked about, and I honestly do want to read it. I just have not picked it up, and I think I low-key should just put it on my desk, because if it's on my desk, I will pick it up. And I also have The Secret History by Donna Tartt, another book I started way back when, and I got, how many pages in, shall I say? I got in like 36 pages, maybe a chapter, that I think that's a chapter into this book, and I honestly want to get into Donna Tartt. Let's just say it's smaller writing, and it also takes a lot more time to delve into the characters into this book, so I haven't been able to do that yet. So I want to read it. I started it, I was interested, however I just didn't get the time to. Then last but not least, I also have another highly talked about classic, Lolita by Vladimir Nabokov. And I am always really interested in these kind of books, and I don't know why, because I've read My Dark Vanessa. Now that one was something, and y'all have heard me talk about that one. So I'm leaning towards this one just because, yes, for one, it's shorter, and also I kind of am interested in these kind of stories. I don't know why I'm interested in these kind of stories, don't even ask me, but I really like deep character thoughts and things like that. I'm not sure how this is written, but I will tell you all about it when I read it, because I think I'm gonna go ahead and go with Lolita. All right, let's choose our 3rd book. Yeah. A book that has a character with a spring name, i.e. April, Rose, Violet, etc. I think I already know which book I'm going to go for this one, because low-key it's been on my TBR before, but it also is one I've really been wanting to read, but I'll check and see if there's a couple more that I want to see. There was only one book I found that is related to this, so this is going to be our pick for that one. It's Belladonna by Adalyn Grace, and I've heard a lot about this book back when it was like really trending, and also have heard a lot of people talk how good it is. Also, this book has been on my TBR a couple of times, as you know, and have I read it yet? Absolutely not. But this month, I think I'm truly going to put the books I'm going to read like out like somewhere so that I can actually see them, because low-key your girl does not read unless it's out there. So like if it's not sitting on my desk, or I'm not like really actively thinking about that book just won't be read. So I think I'm just gonna put them out this time so that way I can actually read them. This is kind of an interesting story. So Cigna has to bear the witness of different things going on in her family, and she has to, like, you know, she's attracting to death himself. I literally read this all the time, and like, this is going to be such a good book, and I never pick it up any month. But this month we are going to pick it up, because I'm not really that sure what this book is about, guys. I'm not going to lie to y'all, but it looks like a pretty generous and easy read. But we'll try to see what happens this month. I'm thinking about reading it because it's a vibe for April. It's very gloomy outside all the time. It's rainy. This is just the vibe, you know what I'm saying? Belladonna is the vibe for that. Let's choose our 3rd one. Well, no, this is our 4th one right here. Oh, well, this one opened a little bit, so we'll choose this one. A slow blooming romance. And by that, it's just a slow burn. So I'm gonna find a slow burn. All right, guys, so guess what? The book I just picked up for this prompt actually has a character name with the flower. Crazy, right? But we're just gonna keep it for this prompt because I really don't care anymore. All right, we have A Darker Shade of Magic by V. Schwab. Guys, it took me so long to look. Like, I was like, I don't know what books I have, and then I had to look on Goodreads because I was like, girl, I don't think I have a book. So I was scrolling. I was so confused. I was like, guys, I don't think I have a book. And then I finally found one, which is A Darker Shade of Magic by V. Schwab. Now, I'm honest with you right now. I do not know anything about this book. I have not heard anything really about this book at all. Also, when I bought it, I just kind of bought it because it had V. Schwab on the cover. And I was like, V. Schwab? I love V. Schwab, because I read one book by her. Yes, I know. Very girl math of me. Yes. So here it is. This is the covers, before they got done. So like I'm a little upset about that because I don't think I'm gonna be able to find the other prints because of this, and that makes me a little sad. So hopefully I'll find it on another website because I bought this in my school bookstore and they only had this one. Anyways, A Darker Shade of Magic is another series. I tried so hard to avoid a series, guys, I'm not gonna lie, but this was the only book I had for this prom. So anyways, here it is, and if I like the series I'll continue. If I don't, well, we won't. This is about Grey London, dirty and boring, without any magic, with one mad king, George III. Then there's Red London, where life and magic are revered, and White London, a city slowly being drained through magical war down in its very bones. And once upon a time there was a Black London, but no one speaks of that now. Officially, Kel is a red traveler, one of the last magicians who can travel between the worlds, acting as an ambassador and messenger between the Londons. In service of the Moresh Empire, unofficially he's a smuggler, which is a dangerous hobby for him to have, as proved when Kel stumbles into a setup with a forbidden token from Black London. Fleeing into Grey London, Kel runs into a foul of the ḽᴏᴏᴅ, a cut purse with lofty aspirations, who first robs him, then saves him from a dangerous enemy, then forces Kel to spirit her to another world for a proper adventure. But perilous magic is afoot, and treachery lurks at every turn. To save all of the worlds, they'll first need to stay alive. Interesting. So it seems like it's a critically acclaimed book. I just have never read it. I'm not gonna lie. I've never heard anything about it. I haven't really heard that many people talk about it either, so I'm not sure if it really hit the fans running at one point, and I was like, I never knew about it, because they do have new covers now, which is interesting. That took a lot for one book, I'm not gonna lie. We're choosing 3 more books. Let's go. The fact that I have this many prompts in here and then like only choosing 7 books, absolutely. This one says an egg surprise, reader's choice. So I get to choose anything. Doesn't have to be related to spring. It can just be anything. Since it was my choice, it was really easy for me to choose because I've been wanting to read this book and I just haven't yet. And this was a book I put on my last month's TBR. Didn't ever touch it. So it's also a library read, and I have 3 more weeks to read it. So we gonna read it. Here it is, Between Friends and Lovers. I'm excited to read it. This time I might actually read it, y'all. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I think I might actually read it this time. Anyways, this is about Josephine, and she is a Instagrammer or an influencer on Instagram. And this is kind of like a lot going on between her friends and her, like Ezra and Mal, and they both have different careers and they all see themselves kind of crashing down at this point in time or something like that, I believe. I'm really interested to see how this romance turns out because I feel like I don't know that much about it. Like, low-key, I've heard people talk about it, but like I haven't heard much about it. Like, I don't know any tropes. I don't know anything that's happening here. And I like that about this book. It's interesting in that way that I don't know. So that's why I'm so intrigued by it. And hopefully, like, actually this month I think I'm gonna read it because, like I said, I only have like 3 more weeks to return it, so I should read it, right? Yeah, we're gonna do that. Let's get it going. Another one. A Small Treat, a spring novella. Interesting. Do I have a spring novella in my room? No. I was thinking I should probably just find one on Kindle. So that's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna look on Kindle. I don't have an actual Kindle, guys. I use my app Kindle on my phone. Just know that. I'm gonna look and see what kinds I find because y'all already know I really love using the Kindle app. It just makes it so easy to not have to carry around a book also while carrying my laptop, my iPad, and everything else in between in there. So let's see if I can find a spring novella. I don't really know if I can. I kind of made that one up, I'm not gonna lie. So if I don't find one, we all know what happened, you know. Guys, I'm finding it really hard to find novellas for springtime, so I think I'm just gonna have to go with an actual novel. Hey, we're gonna have to change the rules sometimes, and that's okay. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and find a novel because I feel like that's the only way I'm gonna be able to find anything. And I'm leaning towards this one book that I think I'm just gonna go ahead and buy in paperback also, which is called The Strawberry Patch Pancake House. And this is by Laurie Gilmore. And I have been wanting to read one of these books for so long. All of her books are kind of centered around like a holiday. So I've seen like the Christmas one she has, the 2 fall ones she has, and this one's kind of like springtime, summerish vibes. And I want to read it. I've heard many good things about her books and I really have been wanting to read one. So I'm going to read this little blurb to you guys so we can choose it. But I'm just going to read the blurb so you know what it's about. And so do I because I don't know yet. As a world-renowned chef, single dad Archer never planned on moving to a small town, let alone running a pancake restaurant. But Dream Harbor needs a new chef, and Archer needs a community to help raise his daughter Olive. Oh, Iris has never managed to hold down a job for more than a few months. So when it's suggested that Archer is looking for a live-in nanny, she almost runs in the opposite direction. Oh my gosh, y'all, this is already sounding so good. Now Iris finds herself in a whole new world, one where her gorgeous new boss lives right across the hall and likes to cook topless. Keeping everything strictly professional should be easy, right? This sounds like a good book. I'm definitely reading this one. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and but wait, this book actually isn't on Kindle Unlimited. However, I'm just gonna go ahead and buy the actual paperback. So already we got 2 books on Kindle because your girl apparently doesn't have a lot of books, but she wants to buy them so bad. So this is just an excuse to buy a book. So just now I'm buying the Strawberry Patch Pancake House, and you will see it in my hands eventually in one of these little vlogs. But that's the book I'm choosing for that prompt. So let's choose our last and final book, I think, right? I'm probably gonna choose 2 more actually, because low-key, like, I haven't had a lot of paperback ones, and I'm trying to get my physical TBR out the way, guys. So we're gonna choose 2 more. 2 more because I can bend the rules if I wanted to. A book set in spring. Sounds exciting. Let's see if I have anything set in spring. If I don't, well, just know I'm just gonna choose anything at this point. Okay, your girl has only really found one book that seems like it feels springish vibes to me. A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. And this is by Betty Smith, and another classic that I also haven't heard that much about. But I've also had this book on my TBR a couple of times, and y'all know this because your girl, yeah, I do this multiple times where I just put things on my TBR and don't read. And as you've seen by a lot of these books, duh. Here it is. I'm just gonna go ahead and choose this one as it because this book is about a tree. And here is the little excerpt that I get about this tree. There's a tree that grows in Brooklyn. Some people call it the tree of heaven. No matter where its seed falls, it makes a tree which struggles to reach the sky. It grows in boarded up lots and out of neglected rubbish heaps. It grows up and out of cellar gratings. It is the only tree that grows out of cement. It grows lushly, survives without sun, water, and seemingly without earth. It would be considered beautiful except that there are too many of it. It sounds really cool, and it's about like a plant, you know, and it's the vibe. It's a vibe for spring. Okay, we're gonna choose one more for, you know, a good variety. Books with flowers on the cover. Oh my gosh, I'm getting so unlucky with some of these picks. That one was pretty quick because it was like one of the first books on there. Also, this is another library book that I have that I need to read. This is called The Naturalist's Daughter, and this is by T. Cooper. Very exciting, right? I know, right? It's very cool. This is about Rose. Oh my gosh, y'all. Guys, are we for... I don't know what was happening earlier when I was looking for names, but I apparently was not looking correctly because what the heck. Anyways, Rose Winton wants nothing more to work with her father, eminent naturalist Charles Winton, on his groundbreaking study of the platypus. Not only does she love him with all her heart, but the discoveries they have made could turn the scientific world on its head. When Charles is unable to make the long sea journey to present his findings to the prestigious Royal Society in England, Rose must venture forth in his stead. What she discovers will forever alter the course of scientific history. And then the other part says 1908, Sydney NSW. I don't think I said the first part. The first part where it talks about Rose is 1808 by Agnes Binks NSW. The second part is 1908 Sydney NSW. Tamsin Allen has been given a mission: travel to the Hunter Valley and retrieve an old sketchbook of debatable value, gifted to the public library by a recluse. But when she gets there, she finds there is more to the book than meets the eye, with more than one interested party. Sean Everden, a young antiquarian bookseller and lawyer, seems to have his own agenda when it comes to the book. Determined to uncover the book's true origin, Tamsin agrees to join forces with him. The deeper they delve, the more intricate the mystery of the book's authorship becomes. As the life of 2 women a century apart converge, discoveries emerge from the past with far-fetched consequences in the riveting tale of courage and discovery. So basically it's like about 2 different people in 2 different timelines. And I remember reading about a book like this, don't you guys? Yeah. The Lost Lake was a really good book. But anyways, this kind of sounds like that, but it's set in, I think it's Australia, but I'm not really sure. That's what it sounds like. I'm not really sure. I don't know. Don't come at me, guys. I'm not that great at geography. Guys, I low-key just lost the other prompt that talked about finding in this area somewhere. we're not going to talk about it. But I am going to go back over every single book and every single prompt real quick, you know, so that way we can set the tone. First and foremost, we got The Ballad of Never After. For literary fiction, we have Lolita. For a book with a character with a spring name, we have Belladonna. For slow blooming romance, we have A Darker Shade of Magic. For an egg surprise, we have Reader's Choice, and I picked Between Friends and Lovers by Shirlene Obuobi. For a book set in spring, I picked A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. For a book with flowers on the cover, I chose The Naturalist's Daughter. For a book with a map in it, I chose Iron Flame. And for the prompt that I misplaced somewhere around here, which was a spring novella, but I changed it into a spring novel, I chose The Strawberry Patch Pancake House, which is also on the screen. Alright, you guys, so these are all of my books. I know, a lot, right? I chose 9 books in total, which is absolutely crazy. You know I'm not reading 9 books this month. It's just not possible. It's not gonna happen because first and foremost, school, secondly, work, and for number 3, all the time it takes to edit. So hopefully you guys enjoy today's picking up my TBR. I know it was a lot different and definitely longer than I expected it to be because low-key, guys, it's already 7:08. I started filming at like 4:30. I'm excited and I hope you guys enjoy this video. However, editing Z is not gonna like me very much, so hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. If you made it all the way to the end, comment down below the rainy umbrella emoji. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can get notified every time I post a new bookish video. And please don't forget to be true and be you. And I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys next time for another bookish video. Bye!